Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, working hard, staying hopeful, but your life just isn't moving forward? Like no matter how much you try, success always feels just out of reach? What if I told you that the secret to turning your life around is not in doing more, but in doing less, just a little every day? What if everything you ever wanted, more money, better health, deeper relationships, was already within your reach, hidden in the smallest choices you make daily without even noticing? This isn't magic. It's not luck. It's something far more powerful and far more real. It's called the slight edge. And once you understand it, your entire life can change forever. Most people believe that success comes from one big event, like a lucky break, a viral moment, or some once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But what if the truth was the exact opposite? What if success, real success, doesn't come from something huge, but from something tiny? That's the heart of Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge. It's not a book full of hype or fake motivation. It's a book that quietly changes how you see everything: your habits, your time, your future. Jeff's message is simple. Every day, in every moment, you are making small choices. They may seem meaningless in the moment, like whether you read 10 pages of a book, go for a walk, or eat something healthy. But over time, those small choices either build your success or slowly create your failure. There's no in-between. There's no pause button. You're always moving, either up or down. Jeff Olson shares a powerful truth that most people ignore. The things that make you successful are easy to do, but they're just as easy not to do. Drinking a glass of water instead of soda? Easy. Turning off Netflix and reading a book? Easy. Waking up 30 minutes earlier to plan your day? Also easy. But because these choices feel small, we often think they don't matter. I'll do it tomorrow, we say. Missing one day won't hurt. But that's exactly how we drift away from the life we want. One small excuse at a time. Jeff calls this invisible power the slight edge. It's always working, either for you or against you. Every time you do something positive, even if it's tiny, you move one step forward. And every time you skip it, you move one step backward. The problem? Most people don't notice the change until it's too late. Imagine planting a seed. You water it today. Nothing happens. You water it tomorrow. Still nothing. Most people give up. But the ones who keep going, who trust the process, who show up daily, they wake up one day to find something incredible has grown. That's how the slight edge works. Success doesn't show up with a bang. It arrives quietly, slowly, like sunrise creeping over the hills. You don't become wealthy overnight. You don't get fit in one workout. You don't master a skill in one lesson. But you can change your life completely by doing small things. Consistently, over time. Jeff isn't speaking from theory. He's lived it. From struggling in his career to becoming a millionaire, then losing it all, and building it back again, Jeff saw a pattern. He realized that the most successful people weren't smarter, luckier, or more talented. They just had one thing in common: daily discipline in the small stuff. That's it. And once you understand this, it's actually freeing. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to make giant leaps. You just need to start with one small action, one better choice, one step forward, and then keep doing it. That's the real magic of the slight edge. No hype, just quiet, steady power. So let's talk about something we often ignore: time. Not just the big picture of years and decades, but the tiny slices of time we waste every single day without realizing it. Jeff Olson explains that most people underestimate what they can do in a year, but they overestimate what they can do in a week. That's because we want fast results. We want to lose weight in 7 days, get rich in a month, or fix our relationships in one conversation. But the truth is, anything great takes time. And what really decides your future is how you use the small, boring, ordinary moments. Like that 10 minutes you scroll on your phone? That could be 10 minutes reading something that changes how you think. That hour watching TV? It could have been an hour building a skill. Every little choice is shaping your life. Silently, secretly, constantly. And the people who succeed are the ones who respect time. not as something to spend, but something to invest. Jeff says time is like a friend that works for you, or against you. If you make small positive choices every day, time multiplies those choices and gives you a beautiful life. But if you make small negative choices, like procrastinating, complaining, or doing nothing, time will also multiply those choices, and the result is pain. The hard part? These choices are invisible at first. That's why people don't see them coming. You don't feel unhealthy after one bad meal. You don't feel broke after skipping one day of saving. But do it for 30 days? 3 months? 3 years? Suddenly you're in a place you never wanted to be, and it feels like it happened overnight. But it didn't. It was happening all along. You just didn't notice. This is why Jeff emphasizes something most people overlook: the power of routine. He says that successful people have routines that support them, not drain them. They don't wake up and leave their day to chance. They have a simple structure. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book every morning, or writing down 3 things they're grateful for, or exercising for just 15 minutes. These things sound small, even silly, but done daily, they become unstoppable. Because over time, your actions shape your habits. Your habits shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. That's how the slight edge becomes visible. When your small actions, repeated daily, start showing real, lasting results in your life. Here's where most people get stuck. They think, this is too slow. I need results now. But Jeff says slow is smooth, and smooth becomes fast. Most people quit not because they can't do something, but because they don't see instant results. They plant the seed but never water it long enough to see it grow. So they jump to the next book, the next job, the next diet, and they stay stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping. But the ones who stay consistent, who do the simple things even when they don't feel exciting, they're the ones who win. Because they trust the process. They trust the edge. Now let's get real about why most people don't follow the slight edge, even after they understand it. The reason is simple. It's boring. Yes, boring. We live in a world where everyone is chasing secrets and shortcuts. We want the life-changing transformation, the shocking before and after story, the dramatic glow-up. But the slight edge is not dramatic. It's not loud. It doesn't give you fireworks in one day. It gives you quiet growth. Slow, steady, powerful. That's why it's hard for people to stick with it. It's not exciting to do something small and wait. It's not thrilling to say no to junk food every day or to walk for 20 minutes when nobody notices. It's not glamorous to save a small amount of money each week. It's simple. And because it's so simple, it's easy to ignore. But Jeff Olson says that's exactly why it works. Because while others are chasing hacks, the person who builds slow, steady habits will always win in the long run. Think of it like this. Life is like a curve, a success curve or a failure curve. Every day, your small decisions push you onto one curve or the other. If you take care of your health, read something positive, work on your dreams, you're moving up the success curve. If you skip those things, fall back into comfort, waste time, you're sliding down the failure curve. But here's the twist. Both curves feel the same in the beginning. That's why it's so dangerous. Whether you're making good choices or bad ones, the results don't show up immediately. That's why people get fooled. They think, see, I skipped one day and nothing bad happened. Or, I worked hard today and nothing good happened. So they give up. But Jeff's message is clear. The results are delayed. You pay later, or you get rewarded later. Either way, your future is being written by what you do today, even when no one sees it. One powerful example Jeff gives is about health. Let's say you eat a cheeseburger today. You won't drop dead, but do it every day for a year. You'll feel tired, gain weight, maybe even face serious illness. Now flip that. Eat a healthy salad today. You don't wake up with a six-pack, but if you keep doing it daily, over time, your energy grows. Your body transforms. Your confidence rises. It's the same action, just repeated. And over time, it creates a different you. The scary part? The person on the failure curve thinks they're fine, until one day, they wake up and realize they're not. Meanwhile, the person on the success curve is just quietly building momentum. They might not look different today, but 6 months from now, 1 year from now, they're living a life most people only dream about. This is why Jeff says your greatest advantage is this: you already know what to do. You don't need a fancy plan. You don't need to wait for motivation. You already know the small things that would improve your life. Waking up earlier, eating better, learning more, being kinder. The question is, will you do them even when they feel boring? That's the real challenge. Because the slight edge isn't about knowledge. It's about action. Tiny, repeated action. And that's where most people either rise or fall. Let's now talk about the real battle, the one that happens inside your mind. Because honestly, this is where most people lose. Not because they're lazy, not because they're not smart, but because they get in their own way. Jeff Olson says something very honest in The Slight Edge. It's not the outside world stopping you. It's the small voice inside your head. The one that tells you, this doesn't matter. You can skip it. It's not working anyway. That voice, it's dangerous because it sounds reasonable. It's not shouting at you. It's whispering quietly when no one else can hear. And most people listen to it without even realizing it. That voice is the reason we start something new with excitement and quit 3 days later. It's the reason we doubt ourselves, even when we're making progress. And the only way to win against it is to become aware of it, to catch it when it speaks, and to choose something else. Jeff explains that success is not just about action. It's also about philosophy. That word might sound heavy, but it simply means how you think about life. Your thoughts shape your choices. Your choices shape your actions. And your actions shape your future. Most people try to change their actions without changing their thinking. That's why it doesn't last. They try a new habit for a week, going to the gym, reading, meditating, but deep down they still believe this won't work, or I'm not the kind of person who succeeds. So they sabotage themselves. Jeff says if you want real change, you must shift your mindset first. You have to believe that the small things do matter. You have to believe that your future is being built today, in this moment. Not someday, not next year, now. And that's hard, especially when the world is screaming the opposite. Social media shows us people with perfect bodies, perfect businesses, perfect lives, and they make it look instant. But you don't see the quiet years behind those pictures. You don't see the early mornings, the sacrifices, the daily disciplines that nobody applauded. That's what Jeff wants us to understand. Success is not what it looks like in public. It's what happens in private, in the quiet hours, in the invisible effort, in the small wins that no one celebrates, but you keep showing up anyway. That's the slight edge. And the more you believe in it, the more powerful it becomes. Jeff shares real stories of people who turned their lives around, not by doing something huge, but by doing something small every day. A man who lost over 100 pounds by walking 20 minutes a day and cutting soda. A woman who started with 5 minutes of gratitude journaling and ended up launching her dream business. None of them started with confidence. They started with consistency. They built momentum, and that gave them confidence later. That's the secret most people miss. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after repetition. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to begin and keep going. So ask yourself, what small thing could you start today? Not next week. Not when you're motivated. Today. Because that tiny action, repeated over time, is not small at all. It's your future, and your future is watching what you choose. Right now. Now here's something that really hits deep. The slight edge doesn't just apply to one part of your life. It applies to everything. Your health, your money, your relationships, your mindset, even your happiness. Jeff Olson shows us that the same principle, those small, repeated choices, can either lift your whole life up or quietly tear it down piece by piece. Let's take money, for example. Most people think financial success means making a huge income. But Jeff explains that wealth is built through small, smart financial habits, like saving just a few dollars a day, avoiding unnecessary debt, reading one book a month on money, starting a side hustle and giving it time to grow. It may not feel like much at first, but after a year, 2 years, 5 years, you're in a completely different place than someone who ignored those small steps. And the best part? You didn't need a financial miracle. You just needed daily intention. Let's talk about relationships. People often think relationships break because of one big fight or one betrayal. But more often, they die slowly from the lack of small loving actions. Not listening, not saying thank you, not checking in, not making time. Jeff says the slight edge applies here too. One couple might spend 10 minutes each night talking about their day. Another might scroll through their phones in silence. One builds closeness over time. The other drifts apart without even noticing. That's the scary part. The downward curve doesn't feel like danger at first. But one day, you wake up and realize the connection is gone. Same with friendships. Same with your relationship with yourself. You don't lose your self-worth in a day. It fades with every time you break a promise to yourself. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow." Then there's health. Not just physical, but emotional. Jeff gives simple examples. Drinking water every morning, stretching for 10 minutes, replacing one sugary snack with fruit, meditating for 5 quiet minutes. None of these things are dramatic. You won't post about them online. But over time they compound. Your energy improves. Your stress lowers. You sleep better. You think clearer. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start somewhere and stay with it. That's the slight edge again. Quiet, invisible, but life-changing. Jeff also dives into personal development. He says the most successful people he's ever met all had one thing in common. They never stopped learning. They read. They listened to podcasts. They asked questions, not because someone told them to, but because they chose to grow every day, even if it was just 10 pages a day. That small effort over time created wisdom, ideas, and belief. You can't see it right away, but one day someone asks, "How do you know so much?" Or, "Why do you always stay calm in pressure?" And the answer is simple. The slight edge. Small inputs. Daily. Without skipping. Without quitting. So when you look at your life and wonder, "Why am I stuck?" Don't look for big answers. Look for small patterns. Look at your habits, your choices, your routine. The things you do when no one is watching. Because those are the things that shape everything. And once you change them, even just one, your entire life begins to shift. By now you might be thinking, "Okay, I get it. Small things matter. But how do I stay consistent when life gets messy?" That's a powerful question. Because let's be honest, it's easy to stay disciplined when you're feeling good, when you're inspired, when everything is going smoothly. But life isn't always smooth. There will be bad days, boring days, days when you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or just not in the mood. And this is where most people give up. They fall off track for a few days, and then never get back on. Jeff Olson says the key to staying on the slight edge path is learning one simple truth. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep coming back. That's it. You will mess up. You will skip days. But if you come back, again and again, you're still moving forward. The slight edge doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for persistence. Jeff uses the example of brushing your teeth. You don't skip brushing just because you were busy yesterday. You don't give up on it forever just because you forgot one night. You just do it again. That's how you treat your habits. Missed your workout? Do the next one. Ate junk food today? Eat clean tomorrow. Forgot to read this week? Open the book again. That's the mindset. It's not all or nothing. It's progress, not perfection. That's what separates people who actually change their lives from those who stay stuck. They're not better. They're just more consistent, more willing to get back up. Jeff also teaches a game-changing idea: tracking. He says what gets measured gets improved. If you write down your daily habits, even just check marks on a calendar, it creates momentum. You start to see your progress. You feel more committed. You can look back after 30 days and say, "Wow, I really showed up." And even if you didn't hit every day, you'll notice patterns. You'll see where you fall off. You'll learn what triggers you, and with that awareness, you can make better decisions. So many people live on autopilot. They're not even aware of what they're doing day after day. But if you pause, reflect, and track your simple daily actions, reading, walking, budgeting, meditating, you'll gain back your power. Because now you see your life clearly. Another powerful concept Jeff shares is the importance of environment. If you're surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, or chase comfort, you'll slowly start to do the same. But if you're around people who grow, learn, and take action, you'll rise. That doesn't mean cutting off everyone. It means being mindful. What are you watching? Who are you listening to? What's feeding your thoughts? Success isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you allow into your space. If you feed your mind with inspiration, discipline, and positivity every day, even in small doses, it will show up in your results. So when life gets hard, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What small step can I take right now?" Because that one step, that one tiny move, is everything. It's what separates average from great, stuck from unstoppable, fear from freedom. That step is the slight edge, and it's always in your hands. So now that you know the truth, that small actions repeated over time create massive change, the big question becomes, what will you do with it? Jeff Olson says the most dangerous thing isn't failure. It's knowing what to do, and still not doing it. Because once you've seen the power of the slight edge, you can't pretend anymore. You can't say, "I didn't know." Now you do. And from this moment forward, every choice you make is shaping your life. Not someday, but today. You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need a big dream or a 5-year vision board. You just need one thing: the courage to take one small positive step. Right now. That's it. Because the slight edge doesn't care how old you are, where you come from, or what mistakes you've made. It only cares about what you do consistently, starting now. Jeff reminds us that this philosophy is not just for achieving goals. It's for living a meaningful life. When you start honoring the small things, you start living with intention. You stop wasting time. You begin to appreciate effort, growth, and progress more than perfection. You begin to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. And slowly your confidence builds, not because life suddenly got easier, but because you became stronger. That quiet strength, that trust in yourself, comes from showing up. Even when it's hard, even when no one claps, even when results are invisible. That's what makes you unshakable. Not talent, not luck, not motivation, just steady, repeated effort, layered one day at a time. Jeff also reminds us that the slight edge is always working, whether you're aware of it or not. Every time you choose to stay the same, to skip, to quit, to wait, you're choosing the downward curve. But every time you choose a better thought, a better habit, a better action, no matter how small, you begin climbing the upward curve. That's the beauty of it. You're never stuck. Even if your past has been full of failure, you can start fresh right now. One page, one walk, one small act of kindness, one journal entry, one better meal. And when you do it again tomorrow, you've started something invisible maybe, but powerful. You've started your comeback. In the end, the slight edge is not about being perfect. It's not about never failing. It's about choosing the better path, even when it's slow, even when it's hard, especially when it's boring, and doing it again, and again, and again. Because that's how success is built. That's how health is built. That's how happiness is built. Quietly, patiently, with love and discipline. If you understand this, if you really live it, then you'll never need another self-help book again. Because you won't be waiting for change. You'll be creating it, one small, unstoppable step at a time.